Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video we will do a little, how should I put it, exposure of the irrelevance of the European Union and a portrayal of the European Union by the media jackals, the operatives, as being very important in the peace process in Ukraine. Now that is a mirage, that is delusional, but I will show you how the media builds the European Union as being European Union being Great Britain, France, and it's about it. Maybe Germany here and there, Poland as the trampoline, and Zelensky as the big courageous leader. These are the main points. I will show you how these guys, and there is the media in the West, and not only, they try to give the illusion that the West really matters. I'm going to show you the Russians' reaction to this, baboonish idea that the Europeans have a say. And remember, if you don't remember, I will tell you. In 1920s, the most evil guy on this planet that ever lived so far, he wrote two books, 2 volumes in one book, let's put it this way. And he, according to some, and he said that he noticed in Vienna, when he lived in Vienna, how the media, how the newspapers then were able in a week or two to build up from the most insignificant issue for Austria, or for in that case, make it from some marginal issue, make it the most important issue of the day, and get the most important issue of the day, the real issues, just marginalize it. Or build a man from a piece of shit, making it be, oh my God, respectful individual, and get a respectful individual destroyed in a week or so. That's how much power and how the media works, spins and by omission, by exaggerations, and so on. So in this case, I will show you the exact thing, how these guys are building these countries. They really have no courage, have no, as Trump says, you have no cards, really have no cards. All right, let's start with, and then Trump, I'm going to discuss Trump's weasel way of saving face from losing in Ukraine. You don't think that's true? I will explain. Stick around. Let's start with the first article. This is New Voice of Ukraine. This is May 13th, 2025. Can Zelensky and European leaders bring Putin to the table in Türkiye? Now, this is Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland. He's over there just because his country plays the role of probably the guys are going to fight the war for these guys right here, right there. All right, and he plays his country as a trampoline to invade whatever will be left of Ukraine. This guy right here is given importance because he has some connections. That's all. He has nothing else. And France sounds good, but it's nothing about it. It's full of Mbappes, and that's it with France. France is dead. This guy is the Hydra, the head of the Hydra. This is the main guy, not he. I'm talking about the United Kingdom, but these guys are the opossum. That's how I call the opossum. These are the Mbappes, Kylian Mbappes, and these are the opossum. They show as being aggressive all the time, but have no power. They're harmless. They can attack anybody alone, unless it's Albania or, Kosovo or something alone. Otherwise, we'll be always in a coalition of the willings, of the good, of whatever. This guys right here has the potential. This is going to provide some money and some missiles. That's it. And sounds good. Germany, Deutschland. That's it. And this guy is the leader of the new world. He's the most courageous, most knowledgeable general that all our history books will write about how we should follow Zelensky Stein's example, because Napoleon was fixed pula. Okay? All right, so this is what it is. Next, move on. The new values in our Western civilization. And here we have it, right? With the help of top diplomats and experts, New Voice analyzed what could come out of the direct talks between Ukraine and Russia scheduled for this week. They are saying that Zelensky, remember, bring Putin. Can Zelensky and European leaders bring Putin to the table? First, I made a video earlier today where I said Putin never said, I made that case and I will not make it again. I will not bring all the evidence. Putin has never said has never said once that he will be showing up in Turkey. Never. Never. He said, we will continue the process we started in 2022 in Istanbul. He never said, I will be over there. Zelensky said, I will be going to Turkey. Trump said, I might go to Turkey. Why? I think they will portray then Putin, because he's not going to show up probably, and then say, see? Putin did not show up. He sabotaged the peace talks. He's not a serious guy. We have to, you know what I mean? Everybody see the world. He's the bad dude. He never said it. But the media jackals, the media operatives will never tell you. He never said it. Go and watch my video that I uploaded just before this one. So again, Zelensky and the European leaders bring Putin to the table in Türkiye. What are you talking about? No, you can't. He called the shot. Putin called the shots. Nobody else. Putin said, I will continue the process we started in 2022. And no ceasefire 30 days and no preconditions. You come or you don't come. And they said, yeah, we'll come. Why? Because the Russians are not losing. Remember, I will say this until the cows come home. All right? Losers do not get to set the terms. The winners are setting the terms. It's obvious. We can't have an inversion. Here, they have an inversion, like showing up that these guys really have a say. Like these guys really have a say. You have no say. Continue to sanctions, bring money, destroy your economies, get your countrymen, except this guy, get your countrymen in poor shape, and you will not be able to do anything. Next one. New voice of Ukraine again. Europe holds fire. These guys create an illusion that Europe is like, you either come or we're gonna, oh my God, what we're gonna do to this guy. But they have water guns. They create an illusion for people who don't know. Not even the bottom, the foundation. The first question is, what kind of fire? You threaten to place sanctions on Russia again for the 17th times. 17th times. So you did it for 16. Where is Russia? Is Russia losing? Your countries are going in a recession. You don't care. Why? Because the guys in charge of you make a lot of profit. Who are those? Financial system, military industrial complex, and the energy industry. Got that? These are the main ones by far. And then you got pharma that's going to come and help people with mental and, oh my God, PTSD and all that. When I'm injured and what we do, we get him fat with the pills. That's how they solve problems. All right. So again, look at these guys. Europe holds fire. You have no fire. I told you, maybe you have a, how do you call it, whatever that's called. Wait for Putin-Zelensky summit. First, they say Putin-Zelensky summit. There's no such a thing. There's no such a thing. And remember, if Putin shows up, but I don't think Putin is going to show up. He never said he will. And if he might show up, this might shoot him down. You know what I mean? Going over, look over the map, what you need to do in order to get to Istanbul. Hey, don't do that. I will show you. Right here. Crimean Peninsula, Istanbul. Yeah, he has to come somewhere. This is all NATO territory from here, from the baboons in Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey. All this is NATO territory. He has to come somewhere, somehow here. All right. So let's go to the next one. Bloomberg. European Union waits for possible meeting between Zelensky and Putin before putting pressure on the US over sanctions. So the European Unions will put sanctions on the will put pressure on the United States to sanction the Russians again. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you and I, or how should I put it? You and I, we are in a scuffle, and we are neighbors, let's say, or maybe we live in the same city. We have our connections as much as we have. And you start sanctioning me, and you start telling other people, don't do business with me, don't buy his products, don't talk to Emil, and so on. But at the end, there's a limit. There's a limit after which you have no power to tell the Chinese anything. And you can tell Romania and other baboons like Romania, and they will say, yes, sir, but that's it. And the Russians and the Romanians probably have this much contact. And then you can tell the Albanians, maybe you can take to the Czech Republic and so on. But then after a while, you have no more cards, as Trump says. Zero. I think that's exactly what they are. So when it goes, we're going to hold fire. With what? You have nothing else. And whatever you want to do with, for instance, with liquefied natural gas, that's kind of the last thing you can do. You're going to screw yourselves because that's still cheaper buying it from Russia versus the United States of America. So, as I said, they will screw up their own countries, economies, and people. Do they care? No, because they don't work for the people. Democracy and all that. Remember, Starmer won what election? What election? Well, okay. Anyway, and remember, Starmer's party, I think, won about what? 20% or something? And he's the prime minister. How much support did Merz from Germany, the chancellor, get? How much? I'm listening. Yeah, 28%. And right now are under the Alternative for Deutschland in Germany. So there's a second party. It's a coalition, by the way. So Alternative for Germany has more opinion polls, more than the rest. But he's the chancellor. Even that, the evil guy, you remember the evil guy? This guy cannot even get 33%. The evil guy that I was telling you about at the beginning, his party in 1932, 30, whatever, he's got 33%. That's how he became chancellor, legally. And this guy did not even get that one when he's the chancellor. They didn't even get his popularity. I know, people are crazy. All right. And then you got what? Macron. Go and see what popularity has Macron. 22%, 25%. These guys should not be where they are at. I mean, but this is democracy for you. A minority is majority. Putting pressure. Next one. Now, this is a weasel way, New Voice of Ukraine, May 13th. This is a weasel way of the United States of America to save face, an opportunity, or to continue what they started in Ukraine. Trump warns Ukraine, Russia, so Trump has the power, he thinks, that he can threaten Russia or warn Russia of US withdrawal unless talks begin soon. Again, the Russians allow the Americans to identify themselves as the mediators. The moment the Americans become a liability for the Russians in the mediation, the Russians will immediately call them as they are. You are not mediators. You are negotiators for your losing side. You are part of the losing side. You're the biggest part of the losing side. You gave the most help to my enemy, which is not Ukraine actually, is NATO, in order to destroy me. You're part of the losing side. You're not a mediator. But the Russians are keeping quiet for now until these guys are doing something bad. And they're doing it. They say, we're going to walk away. From what? What are you going to do? And they say, we're going to walk away. You're not going to walk away. I tell you what the Americans will do. We'll say, we are done, but we're going to support from behind. So they will avoid accountability of their loss. Why? Because these baboons have to think that they won over there. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We didn't. Let's put it this way. Not we. Let's not make a confusion between them and their interest and us, which are the hamsters, the mice, the little rodents on that spinning wheel, for them. So no, we are used by those guys, all right? So they decided to get over there to do what they do best with NATO, our national interest, okay? And now when they're losing, it's us winning. How are we winning? Is Russia still there? Is Putin still there? Did it collapse after 16 rounds of sanctions? Russia is the most sanctioned, even more than Iran, country in the world ever. Not embargo like Cuba, because we like free and all that, but Cuba zap and then say, yeah, Cubans are doing bad. Why? Do you have anything to do with that? Yeah, we want our money back. All right. So again, Russia allows United States of America a clean save of face. Now, if these guys accept it, which I don't think so, because that means you have character. And they showed so many times that they don't have character in the relation with Russia. They still talk down to Russia and they still lie to them. And that's why the Russians are saying, we don't believe anything you say. Actions, right? Speak louder than words. And let's go to the last two articles. And the first one is Ukraine Forum. Look at this. First, this picture is made up. Zelensky, show like you're intelligent. Okay. That's how the picture was taken. I was there. All right. I'm sorry. Two of my sources familiar with the issue told me that. Okay. Two anonymous sources. I can't mention because, confidentiality reasons. World still waiting for Russia's answer to ceasefire. No, it's not the world. It's 3 or 4 countries that are involved in this. It's not the world. Now, this is the example of a narcissist. Honey, yes, if I leave you, you're going to be dying over there. You're not going to find anybody ever. That's a big world out there. Remember, this right here has about 193, sometimes 194, depends what kind of regime CIA overthrows on that particular day. 193 countries. That's the world. It's not Ukraine, United States of America, Great Britain, France, Germany, and Czech Republic, and Poland, and the Baltic states. That's it. Al Capone's plantation is about 35 countries, plus minus to about 45. So when you hear these guys, we the West, it's about 40 countries out of 193. As far as I remember, 193 is bigger, greater than 45, or 43, to make it 150 versus 43. And when I'm talking about 43, it's a combination between NATO, the European Union, and some baboons in East Asia, which are, let's put it, I'm not going to say Oceania or something, to get Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and Japan, and Palau. That's about it. This is your coalition. This is the world. What world? He thinks that, oh my God, the whole world is waiting to see what. No, this was not even regional. It was one-on-one war. Oh no, it wasn't. That means NATO was over there. Oh, I thought NATO was not in. Please, my friends. It's just megalomaniac. That's what's going on here. It's not the world. You don't speak. How do you know? Let's say Honduras is waiting. Oh, my friends, my fellow Hondurans. Don't go to work. We're waiting for Zelensky to tell us. This is narcissistic trait, 100%, to the maximum. And let's go to see what the Russians think about this effort from Europe. So you see, let's read it and then I will tell you. Right here, Russia Today, 13th of May. Western Europe's efforts, a complete fiasco. The UK, Germany and France has failed to subdue Russia, Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Grushko had said. Now, right here. Why did they say it's a complete fiasco? How do you know you're strong? Let's say you're a boxer. How do you know you're strong? You can look in the mirror. You can use the chronometer and see how many times you punch and how long and the frequency, the punching bag. You can use the You can even shadow fight. You can even spar. You can get an assessment of how good you think you are. You know how good you are when you get in a ring. Then you know all that how much is worth. You can't identify as good before. I mean, you can. You say, well, I'm good. I'm running good. I have good, lungs. You can. I spar. You can. But remember, you have an opponent over there. They could fuck that up in no time. Maybe or maybe not. So my point is this. We know how good we are at something, or as human beings in a society, not according to our self-identification, because I guarantee you, most of us think that we are fantastic. Don't we? We think that, well, man, I'm a good person. How many of you think, actually, I'm a shitty loser? No, not many. I would say most of us think we're fantastic. How do you know that? We all like to think that way. Children like to think that way all the time. That's why they have a problem understanding that not everybody loves us or likes us. And they throw a tantrum, and it's hard to pass that, over that situation. So in relation to our connections and the world around us, we know how good we are based on people's assessments sometimes, right? Relationship. And then you say, nobody loves me because I'm too good. I'm too good. They don't understand. Now that is idiocracy. This is what the Western Europe does. We're going to impose sanctions. We're going to do this. Yeah, man, we're gonna. You're going to do squat. Go straight. You already tried. You've been trying for 3 years and a half. And what happened? So you've been in the ring for 3 years and a half and you still think you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that? This is delusional, my friends. I don't think those guys right here, these imbeciles, I'm gonna pass that little cocaine thing that these guys claim. I don't think it was cocaine, but the fact that the guy hid it, it was very weird. These guys really think, right here, you see, the Polish guy is out. That's an insult, but he doesn't care because he knows his place. He knows what he needs to do. Yes, sir. So, these guys really think they are ruling. Look at their faces, man. Look, okay, let's get to that one. Maybe, oh, maybe you're just stereotyping. No, I lived enough, and I've been around many situations to understand. When I look at his face, he is not a courageous man. That's what I think. I don't think he's a I think his face shows me weaselness, and the fact that when he walks hunchbacked, tells me that he's used to do like this all the time. All right, this guy right here, he has a big ego right here. All right, he's not stupid, but he has a big ego. And this, I don't know, man, I mean, he looks like a... Are you shaving? I don't think this guy shaves. I don't think he has facial hair. Doesn't grow. So that tells me he's a... You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for being with me again today, my friends. These guys are delusional. The world is gonna see now. Since the beginning of this garbage in Ukraine, Zelensky tried to attract the world war to make it on Russia. And who would benefit? Que bono? The Europeans? No? Zelensky's? We got at it twice in Europe, and not only. And who won? Well, someone had a country formed in 1946. So, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.